Well, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Dysfunctional Family. And yes, the title, The Family is Back Together. You know why? Because Salad and TKAT are back, folks.
Hey.
From what I heard, I think Salad is grabbing himself some food. So
Yeah.
we're going to give him a little bit. But so for right now, it's just going to be me and TKAT. I know one person in particular is going to be happy to see her back, and that is Francis. So, TKAT, how is your Saturday going?
It's going all right. I was working earlier today, but other than that.
So, let's start off the show like we always do with what we are vaping on. So, as always, the number one rule in the show, ladies first. So, TKAT, take it away.
So I am vaping on my Quadberry. This is actually my third bottle. Yeah, I think it was the first second since you guys left. This is my third bottle.
Good lord.
Yeah, I'm using it on my Fire Luke. Yeah. Look at that beast.
The
I have to go buy more coils. It is. I might actually start making the coils. And, yeah. And then it's with my snow wolf.
I heard a lot of good things about that snow wolf.
Well, it's got a lot of little knickknacks that you can have fun with. It also has a fire starter. So, like, you hit the button and it will heat up the juice and then it will fire off.
Fancy. Alright, I'm going kind of light myself. I'm only got one set up today. Got the Lassimo F4 with the Strife 28mm on top. And I got some in that. I can never say the name, so I just spell it out. It's SVRF Satisfying, which is their raspberry and dragon fruit iced tea. I cannot believe it. This is an American company, but I can't find it anywhere in my area. The only two places I can get it is either online or up at the shop by you.
Oh, sorry.
I'm going to break check you guy.
As Salad is back in the Zoom room on his phone in the car.
Yep, little on the mobile side.
But that's all I'm vaping on. Salad, take it away. Where are you vaping on currently?
Same as I usually am. My Pulse Dual with Telefo profile with the Harambe. And I'm sad because I'm down to 3 bottles of the Harambe.
Give me a moment here to pull up.
So I'm sorry, guys. You will see me be sitting in front of my computer, beating my face momentarily, because I am now home, and I've got 3 bags to carry into the house.
All right. Give me one moment. There we go. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there, Salad. I had to pull up chat real quick. Get everything situated here. All right, there we go. Matter of fact, if you guys hear a loud noise, I apologize. That's me disconnecting these headphones. There we go. Get those off my head. So anyway, let's talk to some of the people in chat here real quick. We got Kevin K. Hola. J Money, what's up, brother? And we got 6 people watching. We also here in a little bit, we'll have Nate, the vaping writer, here on the panel. He's currently out and about, so he'll be on here in a little while. But yeah, so we were kind of. Go ahead, Salad.
I was going to say, I know I wanted to start this off with a little advocacy. If you're not sure in the rules in your area, please reach out to one of your groups or your local groups. Find out what's going on. I mean, the more we know as consumers, the more we can help the advocacy groups in the long run, whether it's signing petitions or just talking to a senator about vaping, how it helped you. Yes. Please. Please.
Yes, and I will stand by that 100%. But here's the weird part, though, Salad, about yours and mine. Because you, me, and Goat live basically in a triangle. And the weird thing is that, though, our state is awfully quiet about that. We hardly really hear anything. I mean, the only thing that our state has really done is just change the minimum tobacco age from 18 to 21.
Because we've been following the FDA rules and regulations.
And that's because a lot of people look at me and are like, how come you don't support stuff in your state? Well, that's because of the fact that my state hardly has been doing anything.
If they are doing it, it's very quiet about it.
Just thankfully, my local shop owners keep me up to date, but here lately they haven't said anything, so. But
a lot of what's going on is at the town level.
Yeah. Which I find this very weird, because my town, I think it was last year, they basically passed a law where establishments can't allow smoking or vaping in their establishment. And this is counting everything from a restaurant to even a bar. The one thing I find very odd, though, is that when it came time for that to be voted in, everyone who voted, well, I wouldn't say everyone, but a good chunk of people who voted yes on passing that were non-smokers.
We're outnumbered.
Yes, very outnumbered. We got a few more
We
people
will
in
always
chat.
be outnumbered, but we also have to speak our piece.
Exactly.
We have to be acknowledged. Hence the why we speak and have to be heard.
We got a few more people in chat. Let's address them really quick. We got Slave for Red Reviews. What is up? Robert, how you doing, brother? Vaping Joe M's in chat. What up, Joe? Missy Adams, how you doing? We got 9 people watching. Oh, and by the way, folks, I am rocking some of Mitch Green, Vapahawks Anonymous alien coils in here, which, by the way, if you go to Island Vapes Distribution to Vapahawks Anonymous, use coupon code MonsterMan, you get 20% off.
Sorry, I'm like attacking. Okay. I think I found it.
Yeah, it's that time of year. I get, flies and gnats all the time.
I got a mosquito in my house.
But again, I want to stay a little bit hard on this beginning with the advocacy.
Yeah.
Get your information and spread it around. Make sure it is accurate information.
Uh-oh.
And he froze.
And it happened to, it froze up when he was making a, that's a face of someone who's like really high.
Love cheddar bites.
This is going to turn into mukbanging with the salad. We got Labworks in chat. Labworks, what's up, man?
Hi, Labworks.
Your connection is having a conniption fit right now.
Actually, good morning, Labworks.
You got that ham radio going, and I warned Kimmy. I warned her that shit can be contagious. Oh, Lord.
Bad lasagna.
It's like every time she posts a picture of lasagna, I look at that pan really closely just to see if I can see the Stouffer's logo on the side. Kimmy. Which, by the way, if she's watching, love you, Kimmy.
That's one way to save her butt.
Oh, Lord, that's funny. Hey, if I don't give people shit, there's something wrong. But Labworks did say no one will be listened to until the narrative is closed. Missy Adams says, I'm a moderator at CASA. Hit me up if you need help. Well, there you go, folks. Because I'm sure, I know for myself, I can't speak for TKAT nor Salad or anybody else, but I've had quite a few people who never smoked and never vaped come at me with what they thought was legitimate information, trying to tell me, the whole vaping is worse than smoking, or all the formaldehyde, the popcorn lung, all that shit that has been, like, the popcorn lung got that shit got debunked like 2-3 years ago.
Almost immediately as it started getting big.
And I would like to take an opportunity to apologize to TCAP from last week of me misinformation of Canada's healthcare system.
I'm totally angry about it.
Hey, when I get shown I'm wrong, I'll admit it. I was wrong.
All houses are just kind of a little screwed up somehow. The only one that actually really matters is Swedish.
But like some of the states, I know. I remember vaping with Ken. I can't remember how long ago. It was a couple months ago, I think. Of Washington wanting to do like a 95% tax increase on vapor products, so you can have what originally would be like $25 for a 120 mil. You'll be paying like almost right about 50.
Dun, dun, dun.
They're trying to get the cost back up to what cigarettes are. There's Nate.
We got Nate the Vaping Rider on the panel.
Are you even live right now?
Yes.
Yo!
Here's my phone.
Well,
Yeah, he's
Why
like,
do you,
I'm looking at the chat right now.
do I need to like refresh it?
Either that, or it made a different window, or a different video spot. Labwork says.
Yeah, it must have made a different window. This.
Well, I'm gonna head into the house.
All right, Salad. Labwork says FDA needs to be stripped back and rebuilt. Yeah, let's see here. FDA needs to be stripped back and rebuilt, and the revolving door also needs to be thrown out the window. That is very, very true. Like and I think I've talked about this before. I can't quite remember though. Vaping with Vic on one of his vlogs was talking about the UK, the Royal College of Physicians, I believe is what it's called. They're endorsing vaping. They're like pushing for it. I think over now in the UK, I think he also mentioned that there's actually I think he said there was a hospital that had a vape shop in it, which is actually kind of cool. But it was also the UK that first came out with the statement that cigarettes cause cancer, which is like 15 years before the US said anything about it. And it's just like, so obviously the UK is pushing for vaping, so why isn't the US? As TKAT is sitting there just all quiet like. Feel free to chime in, TKAT.
I'm still trying to find that freaking video that I saw. I'm so sad. I'm so sad.
J Money, you have a gnarly echo. I know, man. For some reason, my audio is kind of got thrown off. I don't know how it happened, but I'll work on it. But there's not really nothing much I can do at the moment. So I apologize for the echo. Let's see here.
Ooh, I like this one.
Yes,
too.
and Robert, he just confirmed that there is a shop in a hospital. He has the pictures. There's pictures of it. But since Nate the Vaping Rider just came on the panel, Nate, what are you vaping on?
My mag with my controlled prints. Currently, it has a blueberry ice vape in it, but as soon as that's empty, I'll be vaping on My Sweet Dragon in it. And then my Titan with the Valhalla 38mm Valhalla on top, which will go to a different blue raspberry menthol vape. I need to re-wick this here in a minute.
As TKAT is flaunting her coffee.
Good thing I love you, dear. Otherwise, I'd hate you so bad right now.
Love you too.
You know, I think the echo may be caused by my furnace going on right now. It's probably...
It could also be the room that you're in too.
Yeah, it could be. Looks like I'm gonna need to put up more noise dampening foam. Hell, just put a plank of wood up above me in the rafters and then just stick some of that on there. Oh, J Money said it's good now. Me and technology don't get along very well.
Restoration right there.
It's like it's by the grace of God. I haven't really popped the coil yet when I try to build.
What's technology?
That's right, because you live in the sticks.
Hey, no one bothers me out here. I don't have annoying neighbors, or my neighbor's dog doesn't try to jump the fence and bite me either.
Oh, we already fixed that problem. Like, I'm not kidding you. My neighbor back here on the street behind me had a boxer that would jump out all the time, and she was very aggressive. And this past winter, actually, she tried to test her luck and tried to bite me. Luckily, she caught my hoodie and not my actual arm, because then I love dogs, but that dog would have been dead. I literally put that dog in a headlock, carried it around the block back to the house, like, I think this is yours. While she was still latched onto my hoodie. So how's everybody in chat doing this fine Saturday afternoon? I'll figure out what's going on with the audio after the show. Can't really do much of it now. Maybe I could turn the gain down a little bit, but who knows?
I wasn't inactive for the LabWorks comment that he's doing a live show as well at 1 p.m. his time, which would be
that's like what? He's like what? 12 hours ahead of us.
15.
So that would be 10 a.m. I believe. No.
10 p.m. 10 p.m. Central for state people.
Oh,
He be on Aussie time.
We got 13 people watching, and we got 1 thumbs up. Come on, guys, get them thumbs up. Pulling a trucking right there. But yeah, it's good to have TKAT and the Salad back on the panel. They had a miss last week due to personal reasons, but you know they got stuff they gotta do. They gotta do it. Oh, there you go, Salad. He confirmed the time. I forgot what I was gonna say. TKAT, you got anything you gotta say?
Not entirely. I've just been working on videos.
Salad, what about you? You got anything you want to add on? Wait, he's muted. Never mind. As I looked at the screen.
I'm here. I'm just muting so y'all don't hear me smacking away on my burger.
Yeah, I learned that lesson to not eat while the mic is on. I remember one show, Jay Hayes was in chat, and I was trying to snack on something while everybody else was talking. And yeah. It turned into Dysfunctional Family ASMR edition real quick.
But as far as what I have planned for the day, I plan on going knuckle deep into my computer, adjusting a couple things. Vaping Joe, I'm going to probably piss people off, but the advocacy doesn't work. Look where we are if people would get out and do grassroots works.
Grassroots.
Joe, would you be willing to clarify on that a little bit?
Or how about you pop on the show and everybody's allowed on this show. There's never really a set people. I do ask people if they want to come on, but anybody can come on. Anybody in chat. So Joe, you got the room number. So brother, you are more than welcome to pop on. I was gonna have Wendy Vapes actually on this show, but unfortunately something came up. But Wendy, if you're watching, the offer is always on the table for you. Apparently her AC went out and it's like 100 degrees down where she's at. So yeah, she's probably miserable, which me and Salad and Nate both can understand how she's feeling right now.
and Monster, I got a question.
I may have an answer.
I don't know how well you can see this, but I can't. I'm just cleaning the coils, and I cannot get rid of this hot spot.
Keep strumming. Keep strumming until that goes away.
Does that typically happen when you clean coils? This is the first time it's happened. Or
when you go to clean coils, sometimes it happens.
You might also want to tighten the lead.
Yes.
Yeah, I tried that.
Is it right?
I need to have Monster build me a set of.
Oh, what's up?
What's up, Joe? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. You want clarification? It's real simple. People need to get off their asses, go to their state capital, and do it like the old days. Sit out there and fucking voice your opinion, the truth, have signs, and make a fucking scene, and then you'll get hurt. All advocacy is right now is people sitting in emails that get fucking read by a computer and generated back out. If you sit there and think that your congressman is going to sit and read 100 freaking messages a day, I got some swampland I'd like to sell you because you're delusional. It don't happen.
Very good point, Joe. Very good point. So it looks like I'll be making a run of the Jefferson City here in the near future.
Well, I mean, look at the way it was when we was children. And I know I'm older than everybody on here, but
That's all right.
Before online was a thing, how did people voice their opinion? You saw them rallying at fucking state capitals, even their local city governments. You'd see them get gathered all over. Everybody wants this to be fixed, but nobody wants to get off their ass and do anything about it. They don't want to go out and make a scene. They don't, you might hurt somebody's feelings with a sign that you're holding. It's boo-hoo, too bad.
Which that does, and just to kind of back it up, that does follow what Willow was saying on his show last night about this generation.
And here we go. I don't agree with Willow on a lot of things, but you know what? He was right dead on it. It's a boo-hoo generation, and it's just getting worse.
And that's, as the song goes,
The
that's sad
government-
but true.
If the government would step the fuck out of everybody's personal lives and let them run them like they need to, it'd be a whole different story. But the government has to have their hand in everything that you do. You got schools telling kids that if you get your ass beat because you bust out somebody's window or you stole something from a store and you get your ass beat, that's child abuse. The hell it is. That's setting inside the street, letting him know that he or she did something freaking wrong. I don't give a shit.
My mom took a wooden paddle to me as a kid. She would take either one of the wooden mixing spoons or a wooden back scratcher, and if I did something wrong, she let me have it.
I did something one time that I always said I would never do, and it was while I was doing my drugs. I freaked out, and I actually punched my son over some stupid shit that he did, and I hit him in the jaw and the shoulder, and I left right after that because I felt so fucking bad that I actually did it. But you ask my son today, he'll tell you that he needed that because when I did that, he fucking straightened his shit out. Even though I spent a night in jail because his grandmother made him, file charges on me. I went and sat a night in jail and then got fucking probation. And my son to this day will tell you that straightened him out a lot on shit that he was doing.
Hell, my dad ain't. Even now, me being 3 times larger than my dad. My dad's 5'7", with a $140. You got me at 6'5", 350. So I'm 200 pounds heavier and almost 2 feet taller. He still's not afraid to punch me.
My son will straight tell you. He was brought up, you do something wrong, you're not getting your fucking computer taken away, your games, or you're fucking staying in the corner. No, you're getting your ass whooped.
Yep.
You're going to know you did something wrong and know it for a while.
We got the real Stevie J in chat. Stevie, how you doing, brother? It's good to see you, man. Good to see you. Yeah, and
there's another one that I don't always agree with, but Stevie J has talked about this before too. And he's the same way. Whoop their damn asses and get the government out of their lives, shit would be a lot better around this country.
oh yes, that I definitely agree on. Definitely.
You asked the question on why UK pushes vaping and United States ain't. You answered your own question. Look back at smoking. When the UK come out and said that smoking causes cancer and kills people, it was 10 years before the states decided to adopt that. But now there's something that's less harmful and better for you, and the state's against it. Why? Because the pharmaceutical and shit is not making the money if you're being healthier.
Right, and so many people have said it. I remember Stevie saying something about it. Willow, I think, said something about it. Senkai Vapor, a bunch of people said there's money in the treatments, not the cure.
Well, it even goes down farther than that. Look at your local grocery store. Go in and price what a healthy meal would cost you, and then price what one that's unhealthy would cost you.
Oh
You're
yeah,
paying double for the healthy shit.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and I definitely understand that because I buy little things of fruit for work, and a container about this big of fruit costs like $5-6, where a box of Twinkies $1.25.
Yeah. You know, I mean, it's just, it's not just vaping, it's all the way around. You know, they've got to have their finger in everything.
They want to be they want to shove their hands up our asses and make us puppets. It's like, get the fuck out of here.
Look at San Francisco. If you're a drug addict and you shoot up, San Francisco will give you needles to do it with. They have a needle return policy. You bring an old needle in, they give you a fresh one. But you can't buy a strawberry flavored juice to fucking keep you off the cigarettes and be healthy.
They want us to be sick. They want us to be in chronic pain.
Yes, they do. And, you know, I mean, it's just the way it is. I mean, you know, I think it was Will was talking today on his show. You know, people get paid 7 figures to walk around San Francisco streets and clean up shit and use syringes. That's actually a city job there to do. Now, you tell me that they don't want people to be, you know, they want people to be healthy. They're doing that shit.
Right. Stevie's, I like to put my fingers in everything. How many beers are you in, Stevie?
All of this frustrating me.
Robert says people are lazy and order everything online.
Yeah, they do. I mean,
and it's kind of like my generation, you know. A lot of people, and here's my, and Willow kind of talked about this last night, but I full-heartedly agree. Is that kids I'm gonna say kid because let's face it, blunt truth, compared to most people, I'm a kid, and most kids my age go to college and all that. They can't, and they end up putting themselves thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in debt.
$30,000 a year.
And granted, a lot of the kids that go to college, they do get the jobs that they learn in college, and they get those jobs and everything, and that's awesome for them. But there are also a lot of kids that don't get those jobs, and they can't get the job because they don't have enough experience in the work field, and so they can't get the job, and they're $1,000 in debt. As Stevie, oh, you're working, all right, okay. Well, drive safe, brother. Drive safe.
well, look at it this way, though. I mean, even the ones that are going to college and taking all these courses and paying, you know, by the time they get out of college to do the job that they chose, they're so far in debt that they'll pay the rest of their damn lives to get the fucking debt paid off.
Yeah.
I've been paying mine off since I was 18, and now I'm 25, and I'm still paying most of it off.
And you'll probably still be paying at 40.
I won't. Mine started at 10,000, but so I went to school for a year because I went to a trade school. So because my parents made too much money, I got an unsubsidized loan. So just the year I was in school, I accumulated over $3,000 in interest. I think it took me 2 or 3 years just to pay down back to the original $10,000 amount.
And that's the thing. And you're still going to be tacked on interest until you get that loan paid.
Yep.
You're basically, if you're doing a minimum payment every month, and not just on college, on anything, if you're doing the minimum payment every month, you're paying the interest rate. You're not paying on whatever it was. You're paying the interest rate.
Pretty much.
That's how they keep you. That's how they keep you in debt and keep you. They keep making money.
And it's worse for other people because you got some colleges that are like what $20,000 a year.
That's cheap.
That's cheap.
Yeah, that's cheap. Yeah, I know.
If you get like Harvard, that's like $80,000 a year.
And a lot of those, they're like in there for like what 6 years. So there's 400. There's almost half a million right there in debt.
Yep. And you will never make that back. Even if you do get, say, you go to be a doctor and you come out and you become a doctor, you're not going to make that. You're going to be in debt the rest of your damn life.
But
unless you are extremely successful and can make like double or triple payments every month to that loan, you'll be in debt.
Yeah. But Robert's saying about the online deals, I do agree with Stevie though. It's those online deals that what keeps Stevie working. As Salad comes on with something in his mouth.
Well, I mean, okay, let's look at things. If Stevie's not working, trucking's not working, and the other 15 million people that drive trucks every day in this fucking country, if they all stopped, who's fucked? Are they? Everybody else is. Because you're not getting your mail, you're not getting your food at your fucking stores, you're not getting your furniture, you're not getting your concrete, you're not getting anything. And they are one of the lowest paid fucking people industry around.
And I do support truckers though. I do support them because it's them that brings, it brings the food to grocery stores. It brings your mail. It's like their job is very important.
Yeah, they fuel the country basically.
I support truckers. I grew up with my dad drove over the road all my life, and I drove trucks right with him. Now I never got into the CDL. I just, I drove tow trucks and shit. But you know what? They've always been the most underpaid fucking job in America. You can almost go to Berg and make more money than what a truck driver does.
Because they get paid they usually get paid by the mile, don't they?
Most of the time, yeah. Now you do have some companies that that are like dedicated runs and stuff. You do have some companies that pay you a salary basically. So, because you're doing the same run every time. But a good 75% of them, I do believe still run mileage.
Because I know trucking's job, he gets paid by the tonnage.
Yeah. And see, I don't know how, like Stevie's job, I don't know how they pay him because, I do believe he's on a dedicated run all the time. But, it's bad when you can go to McDonald's and work at McDonald's and almost make more than what a truck driver does, and they bring everything to you.
I will say though, for me, it's a little scary passing a semi on the highway on a motorcycle. That side draft is no joke.
Yeah, it ain't. Just like here, LabWorks. I still have $45,000 college debt, and I'm 50 in a few weeks.
Yeah.
Matt, that's because you passed semis going too slow on your bike.
Yeah, you like to go 120 past them.
I don't have to. I just choose to.
I got news for you. A truck on the interstate, if you are not careful, will knock you completely off your damn feet when they go by.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because I used to have to deal with that being a tow truck driver. Picking up on the interstate, the ones I hated the worst was when semis come by. Because it about knock you off your ass.
My aunt drives trucks still, and she's 60, 64, somewhere around there. And
If my dad was still alive, he'd still be driving his truck. And if I could get my license back, I'd be driving a truck too.
Like our loading docks at work, there's always trucks going around that sucker. Hell, you know it, Joe. There's times you and I were in a Zoom room together, and just me sitting there, and for like 5 minutes, there'd be like 4 or 5 trucks already passing me.
Well, yeah. I mean, even if truck drivers all of a sudden just stopped, you and Salad would be toast on a job for a while.
Oh yeah. And we felt that for a while there because remember when that plant up in Michigan, Salad, blew up and we were out of a certain part where we couldn't run?
The CMA plant, it was because of the magnesium in it. Yeah, no, they actually shut down the plant.
And we were probably only running like, what, 4 or 5 hours for a good couple weeks there?
Was only like 300 units for the shift, but it was so inconsistent when we would get our parts that they'd run us the full 5 hours.
Well, it's just like Robert put. Fast food wants $15 an hour and can't get your order right. Half of what people that work in fast food can't even count change.
They have to rely on the computer to do the change for them.
Yeah, and if they have to count it in their head, they're screwed. You know why? Because schools don't teach that anymore.
Nope.
Just like schools don't teach you how to write in cursive anymore.
Which is actually what I'm thankful for, because my school, the schools I were in for the longest time, they did teach that. So luckily, I had the sheer luck of the draw. Because I can write cursive, I can count change, I can do all that shit.
You know what? When it comes to filling something out, I have my wife do it, because if I do it, you ain't reading it.
Right.
My writing is so sloppy. But you know what? It's also gotten me out of a lot of things in some cases, because when I did property management shit, people would try to sign my name to shit to try to make it legal, and I could go in there and say, look, this is my signature, not that. And there's not, because I mean, you know, it's basically just a bunch of scribbled lines. I don't give a shit.
I call it the NASCAR signature because I just, like you do, I just scribble mine so they can't read it.
Okay, so who's with me on this mentality? We're slowly devolving back into feudal Japan, where instead of having actually to sign your name, you've got a stamp.
In a sense, yeah.
I have news for you. We're declining in everything. We really are. I mean, we used to be the number one, nation. Now we're like number 4, 5.
Oh, I'm talking worldwide. If we're not being taught how to...
Well, that's what I'm saying is, if you look worldwide, there's a play. I don't remember what site it is, but there's a site that goes out and they rate like the United States, Japan, China, on a bunch of different things. The United States on a lot of it was first for a long time. Now we're like 3rd, 4th, 5th down the line. And I mean important things, schooling, education, freaking, even our military.
Canada beats us there.
They're not scared of our military anymore because a lot of them are making bigger, better things and not listening to what, gives a shit what the United States says,
To some countries, we're a laughing stock.
Mm-hmm. And it's not some. There's a lot of us, or a lot of them that look at us and laugh.
We know not to underestimate because you guys can be headstrong. If you're going to do it, you're going to get it done. What I find is that the people, there's a lot of the people that actually do have some respect in comparison. You know where your values are, whereas us Canadians, we don't know where our values are.
Like, when I say I'm a proud American, I don't look at what goes on in the country currently. I look at what this country has done, like, when we were fighting for our independence during the American Revolution, what we did then, when we got dragged into World War II, that kind of stuff. When this country was in danger and we as a nation stood up together to fight.
Again, headstrong.
Yeah, but you can't deny what's going on in America right now.
Oh, I can't. I'm not denying it whatsoever. I understand we're fucked up.
They said it perfectly today. Stop letting people come into the States and fix our problems internally. We have veterans that have fought for this country and now fight every day on a damn street corner to get a box to sleep in at night.
Right.
And you've got all these illegal immigrants going and working and making all this money, and we can't even do shit for our own vets.
Yeah, that I will agree with. We need to start taking care of our own.
Even the VA hospitals, the insurance, the VA insurance is a laughing stock. And it shouldn't be. That should be one of the best, hospitals for them to go to. It should, the VA should have the top of the line stuff. They fought for the country. They fought for all our rights, which were slowly declining our rights.
Like, we really do not have the freedom of speech anymore.
Oh no, we don't. We don't have
Never have.
We don't have the freedom of anything. Let me rephrase it.
We don't even have a freedom to our own opinion.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
I cannot tell you how many times someone would ask my opinion, and I would be honest, and I would give them my opinion, but then they get all butthurt because I didn't agree with them.
Snowflakes.
Yep.
And I've proven many times that when I'm talking to somebody who has a different opinion, I just let it be. It's their opinion. Me and TKAT have disagreed on things. You and I, Joe, have disagreed on things. Me and Salad, Nate.
See, there's a difference between going up against someone that's a government official and having your opinion to them telling you, no, you're wrong, regardless of what you think. Even though that's your opinion. And they can put you to jail for it.
I'm offended by butthurt. Can we use tormented taint or lamented colon?
It amazes me anymore. It really does. Even the people running our damn country are so easily butthurt on shit.
But the one thing is that when you guys talk about healthcare and all that stuff, it's not all glamorous as it is. Yeah, sure, we're able to go to a hospital and get it done for free, but we still have to pay for certain medications out of pocket.
Oh yeah, they got to make money, and I understand that. I'm not one saying that they shouldn't make money, but
I find that your hospitals are more responsive. Ours, we wait literally like 2 or 3 hours to be seen by a doctor. Whereas you get to the hospital, you're able to see a doctor within less than half hour.
Where are you going at?
I went to only one hospital. That was a long, long while ago.
I
Gotta
go
remember,
sit in
Canadian.
the waiting room for 20 minutes, and then I go sit in a room and wait for an hour and a half before a damn doctor comes in.
We're in the waiting room for about 2 or 3 hours. We don't even get a room.
When you're sitting down waiting for the doctor to call you, but you end up falling asleep because it's been taking so damn long. That's happened to me a couple times.
Well,
Fell asleep reading a Hot Rod magazine.
there's a reason behind that too. But you have to realize that they also have how many patients and there's how many doctors running. So us, we only have like maybe 2 doctors that are running. I don't know like how many you guys have for your night staff or day staff for hospitals.
I'll tell you what, you know who I see more than I see anything, especially in an emergency room? I see a practitioner. I don't see a regular doctor. I see a fucking nurse practitioner most of the damn time. They're the ones that take care of it, and then the doctor will come in and say everything that the nurse practitioner already said to you, just to make it right, you know, just to make it all legalized and shit. So it come from a doctor, but
Well, that's generalized though. Nurses have more knowledge than a doctor, surprisingly. That's like a vet tech is so much better than a vet. You get the same. Yeah.
I
They
agree.
know.
I see my nurse more than my doctor.
it's just like when I go see my doctor, when the nurse comes in, he knows everything about me. When my doctor comes in, he has to look in the folder and stuff. Now, I have a good doctor, don't get me wrong, because he has been trying to get on the right track with things about my health and shit, but my nurse knows everything. She can look at me and tell me what's wrong or what I'm in there for, not even look at the paperwork.
I don't care. I'm getting bossed around by an 18-month-old who said he needed a 4-wheeler ride.
Get used to it. It just gets worse.
That's why my hair looks all lovely now.
Well, thank God you clarified what you did, because I had a whole different thought going.
Yeah. Now the other coil, and it won't go away.
It's pretty. It shines.
Only one coil.
That's one coil. The other one's not getting hot. This coil's taking everything. It's making me mad.
At this point, I say take them out and put a new set in.
Yeah,
Or just take the one out and then put the other one in and see what happens.
it may have a busted lead in it to where it's not making connection and you just can't see it.
Yeah.
So I'd at least replace that coil or at least loosen it up, kind of move it around and see what happens.
What did I miss?
We're just talking about practitioners
Nurse-
and hospitals.
And how this country is going belly up and
See, I would, if there was any place that I would want to go that has a better health care, basically very intensive to the people, Switzerland. If you look at all their, because they don't just allow people to go to their place, to their country. See, we get food stamps up here too, but I don't get it. I should.
But speaking of nurses, has anybody ever thought of does anybody here ever joke around with their nurse?
What?
Every day.
Joke around with their nurses?
Okay, this is gonna be a dumb question. I know at least 2 people probably know what we'll be talking about. Animaniacs.
Hello, nurse.
Every time I go to my doctor's office, and my nurse walks in, I say that every time.
I'll say it if it's a dude. Shit.
Also because my nurse is a redhead, I'm a kind of a sucker for redheads.
My nurse is like 60-some years old.
Now, I think you just like your nurse because she pays attention to you.
Oh.
My nurse is a survivor of cancer.
At least I do get attention, though.
Yeah, but not the kind you want.
Attention's attention, no matter how you look at it.
Yeah.
I technically have two doctors. One from in-city and one that's out of city that I've had since I was a kid. The nurses, the first one, the one that's here, survivor of cancer. She has no hair, though, but she wears wigs, and she rocks it. The other one is a young girl, very, very pretty. She's also a lesbian. She's awesome. We'll sit down and we'll just talk, and then the doctor comes and we're like, "Hey, how's it going?" And then we start talking. But I also pull pranks on my family doctor that's in like the other city all the time. Always have, always will.
I had two doctors until I told one of them to go take a flying leap off a short fucking bridge. Because every time I saw him, he just wanted to send me in for a surgery.
Both my doctors kind of want to write letters to my work.
It's like all the people that gave me shit for me getting a colonoscopy at such a young age. It's like, just keep talking shit, because your time will come. I just got mine done early.
I've had one.
I will admit, though, anesthesia, best nap you ever had.
Oh, hell yeah.
And it's so weird how that stuff works, because when I went in, I'm on the bed and I'm laying there, and when the nurse said, "Here comes the anesthesia, count backwards from 10," I made it to 8. And there was no like slowly drifting away. No, it was 1 second, wide awake, next second, out. And it's literally like blink, and it literally just felt like I blinked, because 1 second I'm laying there in the operating room, my eyes shut, and I open right back up, and I'm in the recovery room.
Yep. The only problem I have is I will sit and argue with the nurse when they want to put an IV in, because the first place they want to put an IV in is your hand. I can't have that. They can't get a vein good enough in my hand to fucking put an IV in. And I literally argued with the nurse for a half hour one day about putting the IV in my arm where I told her to. She wanted it in the hand, and she's like, "Well, you have to for this surgery," and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, "No, I don't. I don't need the fucking surgery. Take me home. Take me back to my fucking room. I'll go home." And she went and got her lead, and he's like, "Fine, put it in the fucking, put it where he tells you." You know?
And it's like, what, up your arm right around here is what you said?
Right here.
Yeah.
Right here where it creases, where it bends at.
Because I'm the exact opposite. They can't find a vein up here. They have to go in through my hand.
See, I'm backward. They can't find a good vein in my hand because they roll and everything else. But they can hit the fucking vein up here in this arm, just in this arm. This arm, it takes them a couple tries to find a vein.
And they can only do it through my right hand, because there's a vein right here that goes straight down the bone, so they can go in between the bone and get right to that vein. But on this hand, they can't.
See, my veins are so tiny, they can't puncture any on my arms, so they have to go through my hands, because they're, as you can tell, like, they're very veiny.
And a lot of people are like that. But, you know, I mean, it's all about knowing where your points are on your body to what can be done. And I've been in the fucking hospital so many damn times over the last 6 years that, hell, I got nurses at other hospitals know me by name and know what meds I can take and what meds I can't. And when I went in, I'll tell you what, I went in for a blood clot. I didn't know it was. My whole leg and shit was purple. And they took me to one hospital. Well, they couldn't get the right test ran, so they sent me to another hospital. And they put me into a room. And the nurse that walked in, he comes in, he's like, Joe, what are you doing here? I said, fucking blood clot. I said, can I get something for the fucking pain? He said, yeah. I said, I can't. And he finished the sentence, I know you can't do fucking morphine. It has to be Dilaudid. I will put it in your record so that they're all the damn time. And when it's like that, it really sucks because, you know you've been in the hospitals way too fucking much for that shit.
And I've been looking at chat, and I know Sal's got something to say, so go ahead and say it, Salad.
Enough about how veiny we are. Back on topic.
And what topic was that again? This train got derailed big time.
We were talking about the government and how everything's fucked up down to the medical system.
That's why we got onto the topic about medical.
Yes, but it was a slow progression from the government, how far behind we are to... Yeah, anyways, we've been there. Pull it back a little bit to at least the government.
Well, and everybody's up in arms about vaping. Oh, it's going to be gone in 9.5 years. No, it's not. Vaping ain't going nowhere. I had news for you. You might lose a couple of your smaller companies and shit, but if they put a ban straight on vaping, it would just be like drugs. You'd buy it off the fucking street somewhere and figure it out.
Black market, basically.
Yeah, I mean...
We just want to do it the legal way.
I don't even think that the shit that they do anymore is the actual legal way. It's whatever way the government decides they want to go with it.
And I do agree with that. I feel vaping won't go away, and like you just said, a lot of the smaller companies probably won't survive, but. And I do believe there's some regulations do have to come in, but there are some that they're trying to push for that are just too way out in the left field.
Okay, I agree with you on regulation, okay? I firmly believe that the juice companies should be regulated and held to a high standard.
Absolutely.
They should have to be ISO labs. They should have to be inspected, and it needs to be regulated on what what goes into juice. And
it's
that boils down to what we have mentioned many times before about TKAT and her peanut allergy.
It's like Ryan Hall's video. He took a trip to a place that e-liquid is made. I forget the name of the company, but their lab it was a ISO certified lab. Non-porous surfaces, so the e-liquid can't absorb into any of the countertops, tables, nothing. Everything was either metal or plastic.
Yep.
Or glass.
And I mean, Twisted 420. He went to Vape Wild and did a walkthrough on Vape Wild. They showed their ISO lab. Jay Hayes, he will gladly show you his ISO lab. I know it's a bad subject to mention, but it opened a lot of people's eyes up when this latest video came out.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, you know how many years people bought juice like that and made juice like that in their hell, juice companies were made off of people being in their kitchen making shit up to do it.
But there's also a difference between personalized juices to distributing juices. If you're going to distribute to somebody else, you want to have the most safe environment, the more sterile environment. Whereas, like, if you're making your own personal, you're already used to the germs that are around. You're already used to the stuff that's all around you.
The way I look at it is your mom cooking for you will work for the family, but if your mom is cooking for like your company lunch, you want to take the extra precautions of having the plastic gloves, the 9 yards, because it's a broader spectrum that you're hitting.
Well, okay, yes and no. All right. If somebody says, okay, this is made in an ISO lab and I'm going to ISO this e-juice and blah, 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 and it's find out that you don't. Okay, the biggest deal with that is the fact that you lied about where it was made.
Yeah, that's the one thing.
Just fine. Next month, I am having Kimmy Vapes mix me up some e-juice to send to me. And she does it in her basement right there at her desk. And I know that. That's my choice. She don't do it and sell it for, but she will mix it up. She has been getting back into the mixing. And there's a lot of people like that like Fresho 3, he does it straight out of the kitchen and stuff. But he don't try to hide it. It's known. Look, this is straight out of my kitchen. This is where I'm doing it at. It's not ISO certified, none of that bullshit. Then it becomes a choice. Do you want to take the chance of the one that's not made in the ISO lab, or do you want to take have the one that's supposedly made in an ISO lab? You at least have your choice there. Where with what she did, you didn't have the choice.
Right.
You was being lied to. But, I can't tell you what her food juices taste like because I never tried them. So,
And me as I'm a DIYer, even though I hadn't mixed juice for a while. I really try to keep it just to myself. And there have been people that ask me for juice and all that, and it's like, look, man, this is more so for just my personal use.
well, and that's your choice, and that's what you want to do. Which, again, that's you. That's your choice. That's you would rather make sure that if something goes wrong with your juice, that it only affects you, not somebody else.
Right.
But if you would happen to make juice for somebody else,
I would take that extra precaution to make sure it's as clean as possible.
But they would know where you're making it at, and that would be their choice.
Yeah.
To go that route. The only thing that's really happening, and I see coming, is the fact that we are not going to have a choice on where we can get liquid at. It's going to be from people's kitchens, and that's the way it's going to be for a while until, the government sees that this is not going to slow down. They are going to have a problem if they make it illegal. And they'll fix it, just like they did with marijuana, just like they did with cigarettes, just like they did with alcohol.
But how are they going to tax the shit out of it?
Well, in a lot of states already, they're paying 10 cents per milliliter on tax, which 120 milliliters is $12 tax.
Yeah.
Got a choice: pay that tax and get that juice, or learn how to make it your damn self and figure it out.
And which there are a lot of people that want to try DIY, and I've been thinking about remastering my e-liquid tutorial to help them out.
But the thing is, though, are they wanting to DIY because they just want to make their own juice? Or are they wanting to learn DIY because in 9.5 months they think all the fluid and all the juices are going to be gone?
That's a good question.
you're going to have a lot of people that are taking that second route because they think that all the juices are going to be gone. But here's the problem that they're not looking at. If the government goes through with that, the government's going to make it to where you have to be certified before you can buy nicotine. You have to have, it's just like a restaurant. A restaurant buys their food and stuff, and a lot of that they have to be certified for. You know, they have a certificate that, through a class or whatever, and passed it, and they, you know, now they have a certificate that they can buy, like PG, you know, they can buy certain stuff where you couldn't get it right off the street if you wanted.
Fixed. Anyway, continue, Joe.
It's just, I mean, they're not looking at it. And if you don't look at the whole scope, you're not going to figure it out.
Right.
I mean,
All right, now that my
what
dogs are
they
done
say
barking.
is our government may act dumb and do stupid things, but they're not as stupid as everybody thinks. You know, there is an agenda to everything that they do.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
Which is kind of
Monster,
scary.
that TFV16 I was telling you about, that Justin ordered, here's that versus my Prince. This is the Prince.
It is a little bigger.
It is bigger.
Yeah, it's supposed to hold 9 milliliters, which it looks pretty beefy.
The real question is how long is that coil going to last in it?
I don't know. I'll have to tell you in a week or two.
Which is why when I review it, I'm going to get 2 of them. That way I can run one, and then the other one can be for the download.
Are either one of them any good?
So I'm pulling a trick from trucking on that one.
That one's alright. You taste more menthol than anything. It's kind of sour.
Or you just do your download before you do anything else with it.
Fair point. Fair point.
Not sour and balanced.
That's and a little quick thing. That's what I've been telling people is that because you notice that my reviews have been kind of weird as far as how I'm doing them. Like some will have jump cuts, while some don't. I'm still fine tuning my process a little bit. Still haven't quite found the process that works best for me.
But that's going to come with experience.
Right. So I'm still finding the what works.
And see, I mean, there's a whole other topic right there. Look at all the crackdowns that's happening. Facebook's cracking down, Instagram's cracking down, Twitter's cracking down, YouTube's cracking down. You know why? Because they've all been faced with fucking fines from the FTA. Or FTC, whatever it is. They've all gotten huge fines over shit that they're doing.
Right.
And it's just like, you know, they can PM me. Well, you think that the guys sitting up at Facebook headquarters can't read your fucking private messages?
Oh, they can probably see all that shit.
Oh, they do. Even if your group's secret, they can still see it.
Yeah.
You know, that's why they're doing the crackdown on shit. Is one is they got fined for certain things. One is the buy-sell trade groups. Not making their groups legal 18 or over. But even if you do that, it's a push of a button and, you know, you're 21 as far as anybody else knows, you know.
Last night, me and Sal were talking to somebody at work. I forget his name, Salad.
We're just gonna call him Rando Coworker.
I mentioned about a pod system. He looked at me like, "Oh, what?"
Yeah, I mean, as much as everybody wants to regulate vaping and stuff, vaping is not, in the scope of things, a really big thing. I mean, yes, they've got the truth initiatives out that are false false advertising and shit. And
Well, it's like when they said about a jewel pod contains as much nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. It's like, okay, so if a person goes through a jewel pod a day and they were a pack a day smoker, okay, they're getting the same amount of nicotine that they're used to.
yeah, but they're not looking at what else is in a cigarette compared to what's in a jewel. They could give us about that. And it's just like all these people say, well, vote for people who support vaping. Okay, well, have you ever watched a political race? They will say and do whatever is the main topic that people want to go with.
Right.
It's like, okay, we're going to look at vaping, we're going to change rules and blah, 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 and get the vote. And then when they do get voted in, I'm going to do what I want.
Show me a senator that vapes, and I'll show you a senator that will definitely vote for the benefit of vaping.
Isn't there a senator that vapes?
Oh yeah, there's a few. But it's not the popular. They're not going to go. They're going to go with the popular vote, and the unpopular one.
Yeah.
Let me rephrase that. 9 points out of 10, they're going to go against it because going against it is the popular vote, and they want to look good in the eyes of the people that are protesting it and against it and shit. Because it's a bigger market than what it is for the people that are for vaping.
Right.
Now, you do have a few that will stand up and say something about it. But look at Scott Gottlieb, okay? His wife is an avid vapor. She vapes daily. It got her off of cigarettes.
Nice and windy today, so we got Jen out.
And even Scott Gottlieb had vaped. And look where he took us. Could you imagine going home at night and looking at your wife and saying, "Oh, I voted against that. We're going to cut this out. You ain't going to be able to do this no more"?
Guess you're sleeping on the couch tonight, kind of deal.
How we get the Nerf guns ready?
Nerf
We're fighting over this. See, if Salad and I voted against, pick two different people, he has his reasons, I have my reasons. So, but I'm not going to say you're going to get kicked out of this house because of it.
Well, no,
But basically, I'm not going to stop him from doing what he enjoys.
But see, that's where it was different with him. He was actively pursuing stopping the vaping. I mean, to the point that he made up a teen epidemic.
Yeah.
It's no more of a teen epidemic for vaping than what it was for smoking when I was growing up.
I've said this before, right now there's more issues with pill popping than vaping and smoking.
Mm-hmm.
And another issue that's coming up that looks bad on vaping, and it has nothing to do with actual vaping, is they're making synthetic weed pods for vaporizers. And people are getting really sick over the synthetic shit. And it's happening in states where weed is legal. They could walk down the block and buy the cartridge and probably spend the same amount and get the real stuff, but they're buying the synthetic shit.
Yeah, didn't someone get sent to the hospital for that?
Yeah. And because it looks like a vape, even though it is totally different, we're looked bad upon.
So basically, at that point, we're just a scapegoat.
Yeah. That's all. To them, that's all vaping is a scapegoat that they're trying to get rid of. Look at that kid, 17-year-old that blew his mouth apart with the Be God mod. How did he get that mod? His mom bought it for him.
Mm-hmm.
Did she get in any trouble for that?
Nope.
Not one little bit. Not even a slap on the wrist. She got, because her son was hurt by a vape product. Because he didn't know how to use it.
I actually asked the vape shop of how they deal with young teens getting their hands on it. They said they blame Joel for like 99% of the issues that is going on, obvious reasons. But he had parents going. He's had ones that didn't even know what the product was. Their kid just wants it. Once they found out what it was, they walked out. And then the other time is basically the parents know exactly what the product is. They know exactly how it's being used. And they're trying to transition their kid from smoking to the vape. So, yeah. That's the only, like, I asked them personally, and they told me that there's 3 different types of parents. There's the ones that don't really care, just get it for their kids because their kid wants it. Second is that the parents have absolutely no knowledge about it, didn't know that it even existed and why they're wanting it. And then you have the parents that actually want to help their kids and got all the knowledge and found this is the more safer solution than it is for this. If I
started smoking while I was underage and my parents found out, I wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Well, you know, I mean, my parents found out when I was like 15, 16 is the first time that they actually approached me about the smoking, but they knew I was. But, you know, that was a lesser evil than what they were actually jumping my ass about, because at the same time I was also smoking weed and shit like that, and they were trying to get me to stop that. So the smoking was a lesser evil at that time. But, you know, I mean, it don't matter what type of parent you are. If your kid is underage and you buy them something that they're not, you know, they shouldn't have, then that goes back on them parents. I don't care.
So we got Vaping with Ken in chat, and he just basically followed up with what you just said, Joe. He said, if you're a parent and you buy your underage kid a vape, you're an enabler and part of the problem. If you are the reason your kid blows off his face with a mech, you should be put in jail. And I wholeheartedly agree with that.
Yep. Ken, you know, I stand behind Ken on a lot of things that he says, because he's just straight telling it how it is. And, you know, I mean, it pisses me off more that parent didn't get even a slap on the wrist or anything than it did look on vaping.
Yeah, because I want everything to look bad on vaping, not the good parts about vaping.
Yeah, you know, I mean, okay, he was using a Be God mech mod. Okay, if you ever watch me on any live show, 90% of the time, I have my mech mods. Now I have a regulated and mechanical walker, but I usually use my mech mods. You know what? I never have a damn problem with it, because I know what I'm doing. I know how to build it. I know where the safety precautions are. You know.
You know the Ohm's law and battery safety.
Yeah, but there's even one less thing. if you're using a mech mod and the button starts to get a little warm or the bottom of the tube starts to get a little warm, take a fucking break, set it down. I have a fan sitting off screen. If it gets warm, I set it down in front of that fan and I vape on something else for a little bit until it cools down. It's common knowledge. If something's getting hot, don't keep using the sumbitch.
Exactly.
Let it cool.
But
if you really want to stop teen vaping, tell them it's okay. Tell a teenager it's okay if they use a vape. And watch how fast that drops off.
okay, I can see your point there.
A lot of them do it because they're told it's bad and it's not good for them and blah, blah, blah. And, you know.
And they want to be rebellious. Or
Yeah. You tell a teenager not to do something, damn well going to do it.
but that kid that blew up his with the V gun.
Honestly, a lot of them do, because... Go ahead, man.
And then the kid that, you know, the V-God mech blew up on him, did he also have a sub-ohm tank on that sucker?
See, that's the other thing that nobody knows, okay? Here's the facts that people were told. The mech mod blew up. It caused damage to the kid's mouth, knocked out some teeth, busted his jaw. They had an x-ray of that, okay? They didn't show any pictures of the mod. They didn't show any pictures of the Addy that was on top of it, whether it was an RDA, RTA, a fucking sub-ohm vape, which I really hope wasn't a sub-ohm vape, but you know, I mean.
Right, because never put a sub-ohm tank on a mech mod.
They also had no information on where the product was purchased at, whether it was bought at a store or online. We know that she bought it for him because she said she did. Because she went off of him telling her that he knew what he was doing and he researched it. Well, his research was his buddies had it and made big clouds, so he wanted one. There is no other explanation. If you researched a mech mod and learned about it, then there's no reason that it would have blown up on you out of sheer stupidity. But none of that was shown because it's made the vaping look bad.
One of three things happened. Either A, he had too low of a build on a RDA. Two, the RDA did not have a protruding enough 510 pin. Or C, he put a sub-ohm tank on the mech.
Well, and then he put a ripped battery in the mech mod.
So 4 things.
Oh.
You know, that's the other thing. Nobody knows what battery he was using, whether it was a good wrapped battery or, what it was.
Oh, you mean not... Let's see, which one of these is it? Rewrap?
Because whenever a battery wrap, even it could be the slightest nick. Rewrap.
Yeah,
I
here
have
we
like
go.
75 of them sitting over in the store for $18.60. If I get to slice little nick, I take the 5 minutes, cut the wrap off, and rewrap it.
That's a nice, good one.
Yeah, that's a nice little gouge there in the wrapping.
And, I mean, it takes what to rewrap a battery? 5 minutes, if that?
Yeah, if that. I with the heat gun that I have, and knowing how much of the axis to actually cut off, I can probably do a battery in about 20 to 30 seconds.
Well, see, my wraps, I don't even cut anything off. I just put it in there so it's even on top and the bottom. Turn on my heat gun and voila. The one thing that I do say that I do disagree with is people that rewrap their batteries using a lighter.
Oof.
I know these are basically heat shrink tubes is basically all a wrap is. And you can put a lighter. If you have it in one spot, wait a little too long, you've got a hole. I mean,
I got an actual like heat gun, and I just do. I'll have the battery standing up vertical, my fingers like this, and then I'll just.
Yeah. And I mean, you don't even have to buy a heat gun. Tell me a household that does not have a hairdryer.
There you go.
I was just about to say, just use a hair dryer.
I mean, unless it's a single man that, don't really have hair.
Then you go to a store that has a bathroom and those blow dryers, and you just hit that and you put underneath there.
Well,
voila.
Or you spend the $2 or $3 at Home Depot and get you a cheap ass heat gun, and voila. Hell, my wraps and my heat gun that I use have all come from Wish. There's maybe $7 total with shipping and everything in the wraps and the fucking heat gun. The only problem is I had to wait a fucking month to get the shit, but you know what I mean.
And sometimes I like to try to find the thicker wraps, and just to play with those to see what mod can handle it. Because obviously the thicker the wrap, the less likely chance of it tearing. Though the risk of it tearing is still there, yes, but
But then you run into the problem that you get a battery so thick that it won't fit into a damn mod, and some moron tries to shove it down in there, and
shove it in there. Sorry.
It's not like he's playing with his lady at night. It is not the same damn thing. I don't care what anybody says.
Wait, hold on. Are you talking to Monster right now about his old lady and playing around?
Oh, dear.
Monster used his hand, I mean, that was, Salad and TKAT, and, everybody else but Monster Man, because,
Too innocent. There's the blushing right there.
Get Monster, but
his
I'll be
face
honest with you.
is so red.
No, it ain't.
I'm turning 43 in less than a month, about 2 weeks. And I didn't get married until 35. So, take your time, Monster. You're fine.
I'm not even worried about a damn relationship right now. I'm just living my life.
Alright, I'm done messing with this thing. It's making me mad.
The rookie problems are real.
Yeah, I tried to put use juggernaut wire, but it's not wanting to. Space between the two coils, and the one I just put in there, friggin', I think I had the coil or the leads too close to the post, so it friggin' melted.
What diameter are you wrapping that wire at?
4.
Go 3.5.
I will later.
Well, and the other thing is, what mod what Addy are you trying to put that into?
The Valhalla.
38 millimeter Valhalla.
Oh, well, yeah, you shouldn't have a problem with.
No, this juggernaut wire is like really friggin' thick.
It's thick wire, so that's why I say go with the 3.5 millimeter diameter. It'll give you a little bit extra room.
But this is 2 set of coils I've messed with while I was here, but I'm thinking messing with it right now.
By the way, Sal, you're unmuted now.
Alright, guys, I gotta get off here and go put my son to bed, so I'll talk to you guys later.
Talk to you later. I'll help you with your stream stuff soon. Just
Okay.
find me on Facebook. Oh, you already have you on Facebook. Just message me.
Alright.
Alright.
Alright. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
But yeah, folks, I think overall I'm actually going to end the stream here. We've been on for a little over an hour and a half, which is pretty good. So
I do want to say something, just so everybody does know, because I know you have a lot of viewers, the same as Truckin'. Truckin' did go home today. He did get out of the hospital. He is home and resting. I'm still curious on whether he'll go live tonight or not. I doubt it, but just so everybody knows, he did get home. Now he's just got a long road ahead of him to recover at home. So.
yes, but glad to hear he is home. So, Truckin', I think I speak for everybody on this panel, and I wish you a speedy recovery. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Closing words for everybody?
Mind effects. Watch your batteries. And check me out on YouTube at Vaping Joe M.
Make sure you know where your bottles are, who has access to them, and definitely remember to recap fully. Don't just set it on there.
Yeah, especially if you have kids running around your house.
Subscribe, like, comment below. Also, take a look at my channel. Eventually we'll have all the nice spruced outness of the Dysfunctional family. Just wanted to let you guys know a little bit of an update that's going on. That's why I've been literally zoned out onto the computer for the first half of this video. Yeah, because I'm working on some really cool projects, not only for Dysfunctional family, but also for my page also. So it's gonna be fun.
But guys, thank you so much for watching. And like I always say, until next time, Dysfunctional family, signing off.